Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. We're just going to close things out here with the last of our legendary item quests. You'll notice it is 15 turns later, so I'm really glad I didn't try to do that setup on camera because it actually did take quite a while. But Thorgrim and Grombrindal's armies are now modernized. They're not exactly the same. I got Thorgrim some flame cannons. It turned out that it was going to take a really long time to get them for Grombrindal because of how long it took him to get back over here, so whatever. The important thing is, I think both of these armies are up to the task of doing the thing they need to do. Nothing super important has happened in the world in those 15 turns. The sharp-eyed among you may notice that we still have a lot of Norscan territory, despite the fact that I have made no attempt to hold the Norscan territory. And that's because, even in places like Ice Drake Fjord, where I've not been able to build a garrison building, the rebel armies spawn, build up to like 15 or 16 units, and then hurl themselves against the garrison and die horribly in auto-resolve. It turns out a couple units of Longbeards and some Quarrelers and stuff can beat basically any number of Marauders, and a lot of the rebel armies are not, like, they'll spawn and go up to 15 or 16 units of just basic Norscan Marauders, and so get slaughtered. So, you know, I've started building, like, Slayer Shrines to counter the corruption. I guess if we're gonna hold it, we may as well hold it, right? It's like, get things a little bit calmed down over here. Nothing else huge has happened in the world, except for the Khemri declaring war on the entire western half of the map. At some point, I don't know what that was about. And also, actually killing a ton of Wood Elves. They hold Kingsglade right now. It looks like all of the Khemri armies have either been killed or have run off, but they've been doing a lot of work over here. And then, last turn, for some reason, Carrick Hearn declared war on Clan Angrand, who had defensive alliances with everybody. So Carrick Hearn is, for now, at the moment, at war with everyone in the old world. I don't know why they thought that was going to be a good idea, but I expect that settlement to be consumed shortly. Anyway, hey, let's get to the thing that we were going to do. So, we got to complete this Armor of Skaldor battle with Thorgrim Grudgebearer's army. Actually, you know, we have 2 Grombrindal battles to do, so let's do one of those first. How about this one? Yeah, we'll fight the Horrors of the Night, which is a terrible, horrible garbage army, but with reinforcements expected. So an undead host has been discovered making its way into the roots of the mountains. The creatures were moving under a devious magical veil that left even Valaya blind to their whereabouts. So she tasked the White Dwarf with adding a new rune to her cloak to pierce this deceit. Alright, let's do the thing. I actually have to take him out of his stance.
Our enemies shall tremble.
Okay, let's do it. We're going to have to fight Leopold, Harkon, and some huge number of terrible undead units. I think we should be well up to this task. Grombrindal's army is a little bit less fancy than Thorgrim's, but lots of iron breakers, good ranged, there's a gyrocopter. You know how I feel about gyrocopters at this point. And he has a reasonable mix of artillery. I suppose I probably should have just figured out, like, what is the best artillery and gotten several of those instead of spreading out over all the types.
Spoken to me. She who prepares the hearth, who secures our holes. Uskalar have been caught sneaking about like ratmen filth, trying to gain access to our mountains unseen. Well, I see you, scum, and by Valaya's cloak, I'll have every last rotten one of you back in that ground, pushing up your tombstones!
Ace, the dwarves in this game mostly save Valaya, but, good lord, I can't remember his name. The dwarf in Vermintide says Valaya, so that's probably where I picked that up. Close this. So, yeah, I mean, none of this stuff is worth worrying about at all. We're not actually going to know what the dangerous part of this battle is until it comes in from the sides or behind us or something. So, I'm going to go ahead and assume that we will be getting attacked from behind, given the, you know, the narrow battle here. So let's just go ahead and put some guys back there ready to rock. And everybody else, just block for the artillery. These guys in front, we can, I guess it makes more sense to move it makes more sense to have them not have to move, right? Because we don't want the Ironbreakers running forward during combat. We want them ready to throw grenades. So there's a formational problem here, right? We need to not block the Thunderers. Also, I don't know what I'm going to do with these Giant Slayers right now. I don't really want the Giant Slayers getting involved with the crappy undead units. So let's pull them out to the sides. And the reason for that is just that they'll take more damage than they'll really be worth. The Ironbreakers will handle it just fine. So we could like chevron out a little bit here to make it so that there's not a ton of guys directly in front of the Thunderers, and I think this should still be a tight enough formation to even move the Thunderers over a little bit. This should still be a tight enough formation that we're not going to see a bunch of zombies getting through into the range lines. Alright. Ancient Ruin is protected by undead guardians. See them rise in its defense. So I'm gonna save my bombs. I don't think it's worth spending the bombs just yet. We'll have at these crypt ghouls. I think there's nothing else really meaningful in this army. I guess the Vampire Lord. Right, because these are just yeah. So the Vampire Lord's the only even moderately dangerous thing here. I guess Grombrindle should be further forward. What am I doing? Because he should be shooting fire. Let's have him shoot some fire at... Oh, hey, there's a unit of Graveguard. Shoot fire at those guys. You get on the Graveguard. Where are all the grenades? Bro! Well, I mean, the Giant Slayers will get the job done. Here we go. Here come the grenades. Okay, we have enemy reinforcements approaching from behind, as I predicted. Unfortunately, it looks like it's mostly flying creatures. Ooh, including 2 Terrorgeists, like actual dangerous units. Alright, so... this is going to have some Giant Slayers turn around. Fortunately, this is exactly the kind of thing the Giant Slayers are good at, right? Some of our Giant Slayers did get engaged on, regardless of my desires on that front. It's almost like the undead didn't even care what I wanted. Alright, so you're working those Graveguard over. They're pretty much dead. We actually don't want the... well, we're going to help with these. We actually don't want the Gyrocopters to engage with the Terrorgeists. I'm sure they would lose that battle. We're gonna need Grombrindle actually on the other side of this. I wonder if I can get him disengaged. I want him fighting that Vampire Lord. Also, I don't know if they can throw the grenades up into the air. My guess is that they cannot hit air with that. Grombrindle, just get loose. If we can get him behind the line of Ironbreakers. Oh, even more Terrorgeists and stuff. So wait, what do we have here? Okay, no Terrorgeists. Vargeists, though. Vargeists are large? Is that right? They totally are. Okay. You guys have your targets. You guys are almost done with your enemies. These guys are getting laid in on by those bats, which is unfortunate. It's gonna buy them some time. Okay, let's turn all of the ranged around, because we gotta kill all these little dudes. Grombrindle is free to run over here and fight Leopold Harkon himself.
For the ancestors!
Once the Terrorgeists are engaged in combat, it's okay to focus on them with the Gyrocopter, rather. Alright, these Slayers can probably disengage from what they were doing over there. Yeah, Giant Slayers should make pretty quick work of a Terrorgeist, I would think. This is kind of their whole thing, is fighting big monsters. Grombrindle is having to have at this guy. He's doing the job, though. Yep, just keep breaking him down. I'm going to save the fireball until that thing takes to the air. Lots and lots of grenades going into the undead over here.
Yes! Take them down! By the ancestors! They have wronged us!
Giant slayers are getting all distracted by this vampire lord. Hey, that's not you guys. Just trying to select Grombrindle.
On my oath! As you say!
Alright, get in there. Stop to throw a fireball real quick? Nope. Went on cooldown, but he didn't actually use it. He still has the charge. Actually, this whole half of the battlefield can focus up over here.
Hit your targets well!
Oh, they've run out of ground units. Yeah, I can see this having been a pretty difficult battle at a certain point in the game. Unfortunately for them, that point was quite a while ago, and now Grombrindle's going to cut a Terrorgeist in half. I actually can't even really see Grombrindle in the... That's him right there. It's hard to tell that that's him, because he's covered in blood.
The rules are cast!
Get a cast your damage spell on that Terrorgeist. That's probably not totally ideal. Don't let him get... There we go. Don't let him get away. So yeah, when there are no ground units left in an army, any units that are flying will suffer severe leadership penalties. And for undead units, that doesn't mean that they will break and run, but it does mean that they will rapidly disintegrate. Although, as you've seen at this point, rapid is relative. It's still not as fast as I would like. We're probably seeing some friendly fire there. See, the Rangers at least have the decency to fire over the rest of our troops and not just through their backs. So Grombrindle has another quest battle to do. Are we done? Okay. Hopefully his troops will replenish quickly here. There's a friendly settlement for them to move to. Hopefully we can just do this on consecutive turns. Because that means that I don't have to cut and then edit the videos together. Which adds a non-trivial amount of rendering time, at the very least, to video production. So Leopold Harkon and the Horrors of the Night managed to kill almost 10% of my force. I'm impressed. As far as vampires go, you've done alright for yourself. 192 kills on the Regiment of Renowned Ironbreakers. Ironbreakers are really, really excellent troops. I think one of my favorite units in the game. Heavy infantry with grenades it's a very good idea. Yes, we have earned ourselves a cloak, which is actually totally fine. Not great, but totally fine. It does replace his thing that was giving him regeneration, which is to say that maybe I want to put the thing that gives him regeneration back on. Yeah, next turn he'll be totally fine to do the other battle. We'll give him one turn of replenishments. So what was I doing with you? It looks like, just giving you... Oh, I was giving you Blade Shield, that's right. I was gonna say, does he really need 3 more points of melee attack? But no, I had already determined that he does not. Sure, charge bonus. Alright. Next.
Good. Grimnir's axe first.
Of course, the armor of Skaldor. He is wearing currently Alaric's armor, which is actually extremely good. What good armor. Considerably better than this stuff. But whatever, we're doing it for the battle. So, this battle is against a bunch of trolls, like a whole lot of trolls, also a giant. Fortunately, we have giant slayers, we have quarrelers. Flame cannons are probably extremely good against troll units, because part of what makes trolls powerful is the fact that they have regeneration. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of trolls. Well, hopefully they won't come in from awkward angles, because the flame cannons are going to be necessary here. They're going to do a lot of work. I should say we finished a bunch of technologies since the end of the game, including a significant, like a 15% extra range for flame cannons. So they should be really effective here. So yeah, we're going to get hit from all sides, it looks like. That's my guess based on the terrain here.
It is time for a call, my kin. The creatures of Troll Country are naught but a nuisance, a menace to be laid low. To the slayers, I say, chant your battle hymns of doom, fulfill your oaths, and seek glory in death. To the rest of the throng, I have studied the pages of the Damaskron and found many entries of trolls, giants, and other fell things attacking dwarfen families, stealing our treasures, and destroying our holds. These creatures are descendants of those perpetrators, and the debt stands with them. Destroy these monsters. Bring them down like rotten algae trees, so we may raid their filthy lairs and reclaim lost heirlooms that belong in Karazakarak. This is my edict as High King. Kazukhan, Kazakit, ha!
We have absolutely no evidence that these trolls are descendants of any particular... Like, we don't know that. I would like it to be the case that these trolls are descendants of those ones, because it makes this attack feel more legitimate, but honestly, come on, they're trolls. Alright, so I'm gonna set up our artillery a little bit forward here. This lets the flame cannons fire pretty deep into the enemy deployment zone, and means that if we get attacked from behind, as we almost certainly will, the flame cannons are not immediately forfeit. So we're fighting a lot of tough stuff here, but very little armor. In a sense, that's a shame because our Slayers are extremely good against armor, but also they're extremely good against large. So something tells me we will be fine. Also, I'm going to put Thorgrim straight up against that giant, and I think he's probably going to win. Also, we have this unit of hammerers, which I guess is going to just stand back here and try to intercept. Nothing's going to approach quickly. It's not like they're going to bring out wolf riders or anything. Alright. Let's have at this giant, I guess? Alright, no, this is a gyro bomber, not a gyrocopter. I'm gonna just use a couple of bombs early on this force. The flame cannons are ridiculously effective. Of course, the giant is a coward. Chooses to start the battle on the wrong side of the... Wow. You're, maybe not going to need to spend any more bombs here? Well, get him. Giant Slayers, you know what to do. That's a giant. Alright, so we just need to keep hitting them as they, Oh, you know what? The Orc War Boss. He can be the one that, Thorgrim fights. Alright, how much time do we have until the guys from behind? Actually, a fair amount of time. Let's go ahead and turn around these units of Giant Slayers. They are not needed over here. Pull the hammerers out to the side. The hammerers, I guess it makes sense for the hammerers to be in front, right? The hammerers want to receive the charge, and then the Giant Slayers get in after that. Looks like this giant is already fleeing. And we do have to be careful, because until these guys are either dead or permanently broken, they're going to keep doing this thing where they back up and then turn around and then back up and then turn around. And if we stop paying attention to them for a couple of seconds, they're going to hit us real hard. I think, though, at this point, we can probably turn the flame cannons. I guess I'm going to do this unit by unit, because I'm a little worried that if I grab them as a group of 8 and turn them around, that this cannon will try to, they'll actually try to wheel the whole line around, which will take longer. We have more coming in from this side. Actually, maybe I just want... Yeah, I'm going to have the flame cannons actually turn this way. These guys are already approaching. In fact, we could probably turn Warlers around. Okay, they're doing that in a sensible way. They're not trying to rotate the whole line. So that giant has no health bars. He actually in the middle of his dying animation, because that would be handy. Pull you guys over to here. Yeah, cool. Great. Great. Get the Runesmith over to there. Get Thorgrim over to there. He can continue to pursue their lord. Yeah. But we'll shoot at him with the sniper for a minute here. Because this guy does still have to die. And it'll be very helpful to our ability to remove all of their morale if we can make that happen. Flame cannons are going to work. Yep, flame cannons are doing fine. Looks like the hammerers are not really going to receive the charge. The trolls are interested in working their numbers to their advantage. They're a little smarter than I was giving them credit for. Boy, not a lot of morale though. Very low leadership. Give our guys a little buff here. Okay. Looks like almost everybody on this side is permanently broken except for the Lord. Our sniper can keep at that. Let's get the gyro bomber on this side. I kind of missed. I missed a little bit there. Have at him. God, Giant Slayers are good at their jobs. Melee defense down for this dude. Another Orc war boss. Well, that's your job. Alright, that enemy lord is wounded. Engineers do good work. Alright, we have more incoming, and we have no use for a front line in this direction anymore. You guys get up here. Y'all need to reform a little bit like that. And I may have responded to this a little too slowly. I was very focused on some other stuff that was happening. You guys need to get in position. We gotta provide some bodies on this side. It looks like most of these guys are not permanently broken. Have this unit of Giant Slayers get over here to try to intercept these trolls when they come back. And Thorgrim can start running over here. We're coming. Slowly but surely we're coming. Now we gotta get these guys out of the ranged. Alright, well the flame cannons turned around and started getting some decent fire on. Make all this stuff happen. Gyro bomber might want to get over here and throw down a little bit. Holy crap, gyro bomber! It's a pretty alright unit. Actually, focus on their lord. Runesmith needs to make sure that he is continuing to pop all his stuff. Focus on that. You should be firing at this lord. Yeah. All right. That's a cool battle. That would have. There's a point in the game where that would have been really hard. But it's nice to kind of like take our super teched up force and just go out and resolve all of the remaining grudges. It was enjoyable. It would not be enjoyable to stomp the entire game like this, but it is nice as a reward for victory. And really, only one of our units took significant losses there. Thorgrim managed to not get even a single kill, but he did some important stuff. He punched a lot of giants in the groin. Part of the value of having a dwarf standing on a platform that is on the shoulders of other dwarves is that they're finally tall enough to really hit a giant in the groin. That's what every dwarf has always dreamed of. That's why they take the big axes and they hold them over their heads. We all know where they're targeting. Giant didn't manage to get even a single kill. How embarrassing for it. Yep, Kazuka and Kazukira. Alright. One more. But I think we do want to give him the replenishment here. We want to get these giant slayers back in position. So we're going to just tap through. I guess we can start a research. Look at how much of this tree we got done. I was very intimidated by this thing when we first saw it. I don't know. None of this stuff matters. Yeah, none of this does anything. Because we're not going to finish it next turn, and then we're not going to play again after next turn. So let's have one final check-in with the rest of the world. How's everybody else doing? Apparently Craig Strongarm had movement orders? Oh, yeah. That's right. I was repositioning the armies over here so that there was one at each of the settlements. Because the Blue Vipers and the Clan Pestilence Skaven all were making a lot of, like, feinty motions. A lot of people acting like they were thinking about attacking us. I'm actually not sure what the Empire's doing. All of the Empire forces pretty much withdrew from my line of sight. Okay, it looks like what they were doing was going to war with the Wood Elves, as is everyone. I gotta say, I'm impressed with the Khemri. Like, they're, at this point, the Khemri are at war with every, basically, evil nation. And I think they are actually sending armies out, like, there are people in the water. I posited that, you know, in 300 turns, all that would be left is Carrick Cadron and Nagaron fighting over every little scrap of land. But honestly, it might just all be Khemri by then. The Lore Masters are not doing well on Ulthuan. Nagaron currently holds Lothern and a bunch of the southern tips of stuff, and then the entire north side of the island, basically. But you can see here, they are losing relative strength. They are much weaker than we are, and we haven't really gotten any stronger, so. And Pestilence has been attacking our agents in the jungle. I think the Khemri may be mostly out of our vision range at this point. Oh, interesting. Maybe they think the plan is to finish off the Wood Elves? No, all these ships that are headed this way must be headed to the jungle. They are at war with Clan Pestilence now. Eric Hearn has no army, which maybe should have been a sign for them to not attack. I don't know what they even had against Clan Angrand. In theory, all of the remaining dwarves should be good friends, right? We all had the same enemies. We all fought on each other's behalf. If Carrick Hearn's going to declare war erratically on somebody, you would expect it to be, I don't know, the Empire or something. Maybe they thought Clan Angrand looked weaker than the Empire, but Clan Angrand is defensive allies with the Empire, and so they ended up at war with the Empire anyway. Turns out Carrick Hearn's going to end up being a Tillian settlement. I dare say some of our brothers are a little hot-headed. Hey, look at that. I do so love it when a rogue army faction actually manages to get some territory. And still, we have not answered the greatest question of our time. What's going on with the troll skulls? How is it that they are still alive? I have no idea where they are. You know what? After we do this quest battle, let's take as many military alliances as we can get. Right, will you zoom me to... Nope, okay, I gotta come over here manually. We'll take as many military alliances as we can get because they give us vision, and we'll try to figure out where the troll skulls are. Alright, army's not in absolutely perfect position, but it will have to do. With the orc lairs destroyed and razed thanks to Grombrindle and Godtrek's earlier efforts, the WoG finds itself isolated, unable to sustain itself, and eventually doomed. But rather than let it limp on and eventually succumb to infighting, there are many grudges against its war boss to settle. There is no better time to strike. Grombrindle lures the orcs to the battlefield of his choosing, using a simple bait-and-switch maneuver with volunteers from Karak-Azul. And so it is that Runehelm will glow bright instilling dwarfs with heart and courage at Thundering Falls. This is actually, like... This is fine. It's an okay piece of loot. I'm kind of unimpressed with his legendaries. So, obviously, this should be quite easy. Whatever the reinforcements are going to end up being the bulk of the danger here. This is not much of an army at all. Goblin Wolf Riders, man. I think the only dwarf units that Goblin Wolf Riders have the ability to beat in melee are artillery crews. Like, I would not put Wolf Riders up against Quarrelers or even Thunderers. Certainly not against Bugman's Rangers, which are remarkably good at melee and also borderline invincible.
At last, we have lured the orcs to the place we dowie fight best, in Grungi's realm. I see beside me brave dwarfen hearts. Such courage will imbue my rune helm. This is the day to strike many grudges from the Great Book. For I am the White Dwarf, and only worthy folk appear in my pages. So, let us record great deeds this day, and give these Urki scum a right royal hammering!
Alright, so here we have our volunteers. What do we got? Great Weapon Warriors, Other Warriors, Miners with Blasting Charges. So a blue army is one we have no control over. They're going to be on their own. The Grudge Throwers will actually... Okay. Our siege stuff will be able to interact here. We won't have to wheel it forward at all. It's possible that as soon as the battle starts, the volunteer army will start running back toward us. In fact, that's definitely what they should do. I think only the Grudge Thrower... Oh no, the Cannon's Arc is out here as well. Yeah, okay. If they don't... Well, we'll catch up to them eventually. So yeah, let's go ahead and... The units that can start Vanguard, let's have them start actually, like, up here. If our friends want to fall back, they can fall back. Otherwise, we will catch up. Not you. You're already positioned forward. Yeah, this is pretty much just everybody start as far forward as you can and let's go. Alright, without any idea whether or not people are going to run forward, we're going to start running forward. Or sorry, any idea whether people are going to run backward. Alright, join the battle. Well, it sounds like we are going to their rescue. The Grudge Thrower can stay where it is. The cannons can stay where they are. The organ gun, unfortunately, is going to have to roll a considerable amount forward. Right, yeah, like quite a bit. Maybe not that far. Let's try here. Oh, characters. Oh, they're going right for it, huh? Okay, let's try to flank our Iron Breakers around. It would be really cool if the Iron Breakers could catch something from the side. I don't know that it particularly matters what we're firing at here. They got squig herds, which I think are kind of dangerous. Let's just hit these Wolf Riders now. Not that I'm afraid of their cavalry, but they are annoying. Also, it shouldn't take too much to break them. Wolf Riders are goblin units, remember.
Go!
This is a really, really good place to have a gyrocopter. I think we'll just go through the middle part of the formation here. Seems like a good place to drop some bombs. And shoot these guys in the back. I need to go with them and give them some armor as they join battle.
Yes. Attack the earth. Obey me.
I don't know that this army, this unit is even going to be there by the time we get there.
Take them down, Iron Breakers. Move.
Let's move our Iron Breakers around behind and see if we can't maybe get a good flank destruction.
Range far! Range fast!
Organ guns do need to move forward further.
For the High King! Will do!
Yeah, it sure doesn't seem like they're gonna stand much longer. Is this... the squig herds, I guess, are their reinforcements?
Pump those dwarven legs! The clans unite! It is an order! The runes glow!
None of you guys should be in guard mode. Just keep hunting. Okay. Well, this is bad. Here come... what? Alright, well, that's a lot of trolls and giants and everything. I guess all of my artillery is lost. Turn around. Get to work. Grombrindle's gonna have to fight a bunch of dudes by himself. We're gonna need all of our giant slayers to turn around immediately. Fortunately, they are pretty fast. You guys also need to turn around and... honestly, everybody needs to turn around. The moment we actually get forward enough to contribute to the fight, we need to be elsewhere, not contributing to the fight anymore. Feels a little silly. You should probably focus on trolls. It seems like the cannons... This might not be a fair analysis, because we haven't really seen that many instances of it. But it seems like the cannons just don't have the accuracy necessary to be good at fighting things like giants. Single large units. Try to run the organ gun crew far enough forward to get defended by the other troops as they turn around. Yeah, they're not going to make it.
By my beard! Go! Go!
Wait till these trolls get in, and then flash bomb everybody.
Withdraw! Oh!
I mean, they're just trolls, right? So they're already breaking, but it's annoying that it even has to be this way. Oh, that's an Arachnarok spider. We haven't had to fight one of these, I don't think. A pair of Arachnarok spiders. These things are actually really dangerous. You need to back up. You guys need to focus on the spider. So an Arachnarok spider is an armored, armor-piercing monster with a weapons platform on its back. A lot of goblins throwing poison spears and stuff. They're actually pretty scary. The good news is they're still goblin units, and as such, not super great at leadership. Also, goblins in general do not like having grenades thrown at them. You guys all need to focus on that one. Giant Slayers in on everything. The artillery crews are getting murdered. Yeah, this is a crappy battle. Like, I don't think that in general it is like not legitimate to do reinforcements coming in from the sides. I think that that's like an interesting thing sometimes. But this is kind of crummy because they do a thing that compels you to want to run forward and then punish you if you run forward. Yeah, just chase it, make sure it actually goes off the map. Ah, see, look at that. It pretended it was fleeing and then turned around the moment it thought it would be safe. A whole lot of you, actually. I know I have previously expressed that it's really important to fight giants, but honestly, it's way more important to kill the spider. Also, this is finally a challenge maybe worthy of Grombrindle's melee skill. He seems to mostly be just a fire. His entire glorious beard has caught fire. Wow, that's quite a distance those poor dwarves just flew. Okay, it is actually permanently broken now. They're all running. Yeah, this battle's just designed to make your army break. Like, you probably won't lose this one, but you are definitely going to have a lot less stuff after it. Well, we got through because we are hilariously overqualified for the battle, but it sucks. It sucks, and I don't like that one. 269 kills on those Iron Breakers. 132 on the gyrocopter. Yeah. These units are a higher tier than you are expected to have for this battle, I think. You know, honestly, I said you'll win, but it will suck. But honestly, there's a lot of armies, a lot of dwarf armies, that would have a hard time against a pair of Arachnarok spiders that magically appear behind you. Like, I wonder, you probably don't have to be at this tier, but you probably have to have actually some fairly advanced troops in order to survive that. That's a quest battle you have a real chance of losing. Yeah, this is ridiculous. What a ridiculous thing. And somehow, Grombrindle is still not level 40. He just now became an Orcsbane.
You know who I am.
I feel like he's done quite a bit of greenskin fighting, hasn't? I don't know. That's weird. It's weird that that just became available to him. And look at that. He managed to cap out all 3 of his trees. You did it, Grombrindle. You're a perfect, beautiful hero. Hey, I have a question. Did Guthrie ever become not mad? Because I don't remember seeing a notification. Multiple turns in an owned region with little to no corruption. The region he is in has 1% corruption. And it's been like that for quite some time. I'm wondering if that's broken, maybe? Because, seriously, Guthrie's been just sitting in Zoishank basically since the last video. He's definitely been here for more than 10 turns. Alright, well, like I said, let's try to negotiate some military alliances, get some extra vision, see if we can tell where the troll geysers are. My guess is that they're actually somewhere up here. There's a lot of weird terrain you can get lost in up here, and I did play a little bit of High Elf Mortal Empires, and I saw somebody's army get stuck in the mountains one time. Is basically the entire reason I think that. Let's start with the Lizardmen. They, in fact, will not give us the military alliance, but they would pay us 1,000 gold to go to war against Naggarond. That doesn't help me, guy. Okay, how about the Lore Masters? The Lore Masters might have agents in Dark Elf territory. We might get some vision here.
Do not test my patience. Deliver your ludicrous.
Both of these forces have offered me a military alliance within the last 5 turns. Okay, I have an idea. How about a military alliance, and I'll give you 10,000 gold. How about some of that? Likelihood of success low. Okay, well, apparently there's some stuff going on here that I don't fully understand, because like I said, they have both recently offered me military alliances. Well, I guess the secret of the rogue armies is one that will remain secret. Listen, there are some things Dwarfkind was not meant to know. But, on the whole, I think this was a fun and very successful campaign. I would like to do more of these in the future. I think Mortal Empires is a super cool idea. But I know I said in the last video that we would be likely to just, like, maybe roll right into a new one. It might have to go on hold for a little while, because when I recorded that video, Amplitude had not yet announced the dates of the Endless Legend and Endless Space expansions, which they have now. Those come out on Thursday, this coming Thursday. So, Endless Legend and Endless Space series are starting then, which means I do not probably have time for another Total War series with the other stuff that's also going on the channel. So, this is going to be it for this, for today and for this series. In the near future, though, maybe like a month, I don't know, whenever the schedule clears up a little bit, I would like to get back in here for some more Mortal Empires, probably as Dark Elves, because I haven't played Dark Elves at all and I don't know anything about their mechanics. That hopefully should be fun. So, thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, you know, in the near future for other stuff, or in the slightly less near future for more of this. and we'll see you then.